Ron's got the valves done and the motor back together on the Model T, so it's a big day here. We're gonna give it a test fire and see what happens.
Still working on the transmissions. I cannot get it to go into true neutral, so I'm gonna jack it up and get the wheels off the ground. So before I start the car, I want to check the oil level. So there's no dipstick like a modern car. You have to climb underneath your car to actually check the oil. So the way to do this is you got to open this little petcock here, and if you got oil dripping out, which we do, you know it's full. Nothing comes out of there, then you check the lower one. If nothing comes out of there, well, you know you're really low, and you have to fill it up until it starts to come out of the top one. But that's a procedure. It's pretty wild that you have to climb underneath the car to check your oil level.
Ron?
Yeah?
Oh, there you are. I hear that you're getting ready to fire it?
Yeah, we're just give it a run to see if we can get the thing to pop.
Model Ts are a real treat. I really like these cars, so when I hear that one's gonna fire up, I sort of want to be there and see it.
It's a big day today at the Guild. We're gonna fire up the Model T.
All right, we ready, guys?
All right.
Yep.
You can run the choke over there. It'll choke for the first couple of crank overs to get it primed up. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I
got a
turn it
little
on.
choke, yeah.
I got this hold this way. I knew at the beginning it's going to take a little bit to get it going. Any gasoline at the carb there? Like just squirting out or doing anything like
Nope.
that when the choke's on full?
Nope.
Just smell it.
You smell it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then no choke.
No choke?
No
Okay.
choke. Let's just try this.
Sure. Oh, there's a kick.
You know, it always takes a little bit to find the exact formula to start up any of these old engines. You know, didn't want to start with full choke, didn't want to start with no choke.
Try some more choke then.
Yeah, try playing it, like start off
yeah.
and then just reduce.
Okay.
Wow. More advanced? There you go. Sounded great. Sounds like a Model T.
One of the most delightful things about Model Ts is the sound they make when they're running.
Yeah.
And this one certainly didn't disappoint.
Sweet.
Wow. It's live.
Definitely a good day at the Guild when you have something like this that fires up and runs, and now we're moving on to the next level.
Yeah, well, it's a T, it's got to run.
Yeah.
It has no choice. Getting the engine to run on anything is a big part of the restoration of the car. We've now sorted a pretty significant part of it.
I'm looking forward to actually driving it. I
Yeah.
want to try to drive this thing for sure.
Yeah.
I've been doing a little research, and they're not the easiest thing to drive.
They are
You know,
really easy to drive
once
as
you
long
get
as you
used to it.
throw out your normal reactions.
Yep.
Right there is supposed to be neutral.
Okay, that one, down low, that's low gear. All the way out is high gear. Halfway down is neutral.
No, it's still turning the engine over.
Okay, that should be neutral right there.
Still in gear.
So get yourself an apple crate so you got something to sit on and take a road for a spin.
Yeah. All righty. That was good.
The customers are coming in today to see the 1955 Crown Vic, and they haven't seen it all together yet, so hopefully they like it.
Wow. Yeah, it's looking really good.
It's really
It's really come together
Yeah.
nice for sure.
When they walked up and saw it for the first time, you could tell that this car means a hell of a lot to them.
It looks great. It looks like it should be sitting on the street in 1955.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still 1955 with a
Yeah,
couple
well.
of options. A couple of more horsepower by 100 and change. And it's going to be just, you know, tiptoe braking because it's the power disc. You know, and that's a great thing about doing the resto mod like this is getting that bone stock look, that 50s feel. Pulling in and out of traffic with this is a lot different than it would have been with the single barrel carburetor on it or a little two barrel. But with a small block Ford back in it, it's well over 300 horse now, and you get on the throttle and you're gonna move. There's no question that you'll be able to keep up with traffic and
Well,
get ahead of some of it.
I'm looking forward to taking it on a shakedown ride myself.
Yeah.
I can't quit smiling because, you know, it's such a transformation from what it was when it first came in here. Well, now.
It started up okay, but
It's gas. That's it.
Need some fuel. It's been
It's fuel.
When I saw those flames come out of the car, I was a little nervous. All right, 1 sec.
First startup for them, we had a little hiccup.
Well, it seems for the run.
But it seemed like Greg's seen it happen before. Oh, the fire is going out. There we go.
That's not tight.
Must have moved that. He had a calm head about it, so it calmed me down.
Grab a 1/2 inch there. It was just one of those things. We had the timing set, we've had it running. The distributor just wasn't tightened down.
It started up fine because it was in the right position, but once it ran a little bit, the distributor moved and the timing went, and then you saw a little fire.
Well, now, that's better, eh? That's awesome, Greg.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Got a little rumble to it.
Yeah. It's been in our family longer than any of our children. It's something that we started on just after we were married, and we drove it for 10 or 12 years, and then we had to park it. It signals a new era, kind of. You know, university's paid for and gone. The kids all got their own lives.
I'm happy to help give this to him. He deserves it.
No, thank you. Well, I like all the details. I know you guys did a lot of work on things like restoring the steering wheel on it.
Yeah, and it came out really nice.
Yeah, I guess you're looking forward to taking on a road test, are you?
Yes, I am.
I bet you are. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it's come a long way, and it's been a few hurdles, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
I have customers that do not want to see their car until it's finally finished. And we have other ones that are invested with the build of the car and want to see it all the way along. They thank me many times, and it's gratifying to give them that. You can see where the money has gone. It's not a cheap process doing one of these cars.
Can't stop smiling here. I don't know what's going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We just got to go and work some of the bugs out. I love the car and can't wait to get it out on the road.
This is our main exhibit gallery.
Wow.
We don't even know exactly what this car is.
There we go. Fire up.
Janice and I were invited to visit a really special museum in Nashville.
Who are we meeting today?
Derek Moore, he's the curator of the collection. You know, I heard it was like a collection of oddball cars. I didn't figure anything this big.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah, this
that's
is
the
impressive.
normal reaction.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, this is our main exhibit gallery here at the museum. We get about 130 to 150 cars in here out of the 550 we have in the collection.
There's a new exhibit put on right now, and it's called One of One, and every car in here is a singular creation of somebody, either just like a private guy or a company prototyping something, but they're all one-offs.
So every car in this exhibit is the only one there is in existence.
And some of that is self-explanatory.
Exactly. And some of them, like this one, we don't even know exactly what this car is. This is an unknown microcar out of France. We really know nothing about it other than we believe it was built in France. That's where it came from. And we're still trying to do research on it. I think they actually intended for more than one person to be in this.
Well, you know, there was a time when you could get 3 people in.
True.
You know, before fast food.
Yeah. This one was actually built up in Dayton, Ohio. It's called the Ericson Streamliner. If you look at this car very closely, it's actually very small pieces of aluminum all riveted together
So
in
the
a jigsaw.
offcuts.
It was built during the war. Fascinating thing was, it was an employee at the Wichita assembly plant that was building bombers, probably B-29s, and the car is built from offcuts that they let him take home. Those days, you know, if you wanted something and you couldn't buy it, you made it.
There's some theory here based on the look of it and the shape of it that he actually had seen Buckminster Fuller's work with the idea of the Dymaxion, and he actually was applying some of that.
Great car.
You know, I'm really glad I came here because, like, to see this, I see some weird vehicles, but you see one in a place or maybe 2, but to see a whole building completely crammed with just really cool vehicles, most of which I would like to have, it's a wonderful experience.
There we go. Whew. Fire up. We finally got the Crown Vic out for a road test today. This is something else. And the dash looks amazing. The goal with this car was to update everything so it's safe and it can compete with today's cars. It can get on the road and keep up with everybody. I mean, these cars were pretty decent at the time, but with today's traffic, better braking, a little bit more horsepower, easier shifting, just to make this car feel safe and secure. You know, the 50s cars, there's just nothing like them. And then you take this and you put a little bit more horsepower and fresh suspension, updated braking. You know, it just is that fresh feeling. It performed the way I expected it to. I gave it that modern power feel. It also gave me a sense of relaxation because I knew I'm gonna be able to pull out, I'm gonna be able to get ahead of traffic, and there's not gonna be any spit and sputtering or falling on its face, so it was good. Now it's time for the 55 Crown Vic to go back to the owners so they can make new memories in it.
It's really pretty easy to drive, David, other than the odd visibility.
Yeah, it's like you've got a deck on a boat.
Wow, this is great being back in the old Camaro.
Janice and I are in Nashville, Tennessee at the Lane Motor Museum. She's with Derek Moore right now, and they're bringing a car that Derek reckons is a little bit special up for us to take a drive in. I can hear it coming, and now I can see it. Well, that is special, isn't it?
All right, well, you ready to hop in and take it for a drive?
I am.
All right, let's go.
Alrighty. It's like getting into a boat.
A lot of nice wood, you know. So it's nothing more underneath than a 34 Ford flathead V8 chassis.
Oh, okay.
So it's all the same as if you're driving a 34 Ford.
It's like driving a boat, except there's more things to hit.
Yeah. It's really pretty easy to drive, David. Other than the odd visibility over this giant, deck.
Yeah, it's like you've got a deck on a boat that
Yeah.
you're looking across.
And not being able to see the front corners of the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like driving a 34 Ford flathead V8.
Yeah, it sounds and handles just like a 34. A little more cumbersome on the corners. 34s have a lot of roll.
Yeah.
This has a bit more roll than a 34
Yes.
Ford, but then,
Yeah.
as streamlined as they thought it was. That car was a lot of fun.
So today I'm taking out our Z28 for a test drive. We're gonna work out any of the bugs that are in it. And I remember back in the 80s and the new style Camaro came out. And it was like, wow, futuristic. If you were like me, you get in there and tweak it and do whatever you could just to get her a little bit faster. Wow, this is great being back in the old Camaro. I had some good memories in mind for sure. Being a teenager with one of these things. This one actually feels really good right now. We'll just have to see how this new cam and intake and exhaust pick this beast up and make her rock and roll. Whew. This thing feels so good. That was pulling a little bit of rubber in third there. Everything's just so tight and nice, and everything dialed in is just beautiful. That cam choice was amazing. You could drive all day, and this has got everything that you would expect to have. I mean, this has got power. It's smooth. Got the new tires on there. I mean, I would imagine it feels just a little bit better than the day she rolled out of the factory. I'm really hoping that the customer's gonna roll out of our parking lot with a smile on his face, because this is a real treat. Definitely a treat. This thing works really good with the upgraded horsepower that we put into it. It was hard for me to turn around and come back, and I just keep going to my garage and park it. Well, the Model T's motor's back together. Everything is good to go there.
Whoa. Sounds like a Model T.
We've got the paint stripped off it. Kalev's working on the woodwork. These things were all wood frame, metal clad. This was basically a horse and buggy that jammed a motor in and made them run. It's a really cool vehicle, but he got everything stripped down on it, and this is where the finesse comes in.
We have to play with these hinges because latch don't work. Because Toro is too much forward.
Clev likes to have things perfect. Well, he's trying to fit the doors on this Model T, and they were never perfect. The door is one shape and the car is another, and I think it drives him crazy.
I have to adjust this top one too, and maybe this one. Because it's touching here.
It's not like you can measure gaps or anything on this with the wood. Do you like working with wood or metal?
Metal.
There are certain things on it that are gonna be the way they are. There are things that you just can't get around without tearing the whole thing apart and building it today's standards.
Things that were permissible in 1915 on a car that cost $400, well, they don't wash these days.
You weren't just a mechanic, a body man, you were a woodworker, you were a designer. This was the introduction to the automobile. You had cars coming out and there were so many manufacturers. But Ford took this Model T and made thousands and thousands of them. This one, being a center door coach, was completely different from some of the other ones. So this is going through it and seeing, okay, what can we do to make this center door coach as good as the day it rolled off the line or better? It looked pretty solid down there. When you're moving everything, nothing else was moving around it. So we're gonna take it to the next level and make these things so that it is perfect. So happy with the progress. Now we can actually get deeper into it. The next step is a full restoration. Body, paint, interior, transmission rebuild, new wheels, and get it running.
Oh, my goodness. It's unbelievable.
The 1955 Crown Vic is ready to go. This job isn't about, four wheels and a chassis. This is about giving somebody something that means the world to them. The car is just beautiful. Everybody's on hand, cleaning, polishing, getting it ready so that when they see it, it will have that wow factor.
Exciting day. I'm going to deliver Joe's 55 Crown Victoria back to him. He went with the original paint scheme and the interior and updated a lot of things. So I think the car turned out awesome. It's sunny out, but the roads are crummy, so we're going to throw it in the trailer and deliver it up to him. I'm always super careful with a finished car, putting it in the trailer, because that's when something bad will happen.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. When he opened up the back of the trailer, it looked just like a piece of jewelry, way beyond my expectations.
I'm rather fond of this Crown Vic. I mean, it was a devout restoration and an actual pleasure to work on. The results speak for themselves. I mean, it's a dramatically attractive car.
Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable. Never thought we'd see this day.
Bonnie was breaking down in tears. She's so happy. So you can't put a price on that kind of stuff. That's just priceless.
It's like a baby came home. It's been an important part of our life and memories. It had been in the garage for over 30 years.
There were times when you thought, well, you know, free up the room in the garage and let's move on, but couldn't do it.
He always said, when I have time and the kids are bigger, I'll have time to do that, but we never had time. This is just like a dream come true.
It is.
Oh, it feels pretty good. Feels really good. You guys did such a great job. So perfect.
If it was me, I would be taking it down the road for a little spin, but that's okay. That could wait. We're patient.
Come back with some salty puddle muck all over it.
No, not today. When the weather turns a little nicer, we'll take it for a couple road trips.
We're probably going to drive it to the East Coast and maybe to family on the West Coast.
I know we're very happy with it.
We're very anxious to build some new memories with it. Starting a new journey. New journey.